Alright, landed in Colorado. It's cold as usual. Just luckily I was smart enough to bring my big old coat. Didn't really record before getting on the plane, but hey, better late than never, right? Here we go on the Rocky Mountain Collectibles. And here we go. Alright guys, got here at right at the outside of this Rocky Mountain Collectibles. Grand opening going on here. This is what I traveled all the way to Colorado for. Now, grand opening isn't until Saturday, but it's Friday currently. And we're just gonna walk inside and see what we got going on. Alright guys, we walking inside and whew, the space. Look at that, we got all the Funko Pops. Like, this store literally just opened. This is Johnny Boy right here. His dream come true. We got product, stock. We got all of it. This is probably the biggest gaming store in Colorado. Look at all this space, man. Look at that fan art. Look at that art. Look at that obelisk we got going on. The Pikachu, the Ghastly, and Nurse Joy, I believe that's what it is. Let's see. What is this? Ooh. Something tells me that's pretty valuable. And walking over here, we got soda machines. Look at that. We even got gaming stations, PS4s for those of you who like to play Dragon Ball Fighters, Street Fighters, and we got a Switch, of course, for Smash Ultimate. Oh yeah, this is a nice little complete set, guys. I think we're gonna like this. All right, guys, we're here at the grand opening. We got our nice food truck and stuff going on now. I know that there is a VIP qualifier going on a Mile High Comics, so we're gonna see just how many people are actually in here. I shouldn't be expecting too many people in here because of the VIP qualifier, but you know, oh man, I'm excited. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. You've seen it firsthand, guys. Rocky Mountain Collectibles. The competition is fierce. This grand opening was lit. Guys, for you're in the Colorado area, check out this Rocky Mountain Collectibles. You know, buy from your boy Johnny Nagel. He's a nice guy with insane integrity. Let's do this. I'm excited.
Tournaments to more regionals, to try to get a white case here in Denver again. I hope that we can attend to all your gaming needs. You know, this is we want to make this a home store to all of you guys, you know, all the time. So if there's anything, like I said, I'm going to come around. I'm going to give you guys your 5 packs for entering. I'm going to collect those deck lists. If you did put your email on the back of them, you're going to get some emails. We would love some feedback. Join Rocky Mountain Collectibles Facebook page. I'm sure I have a lot of you guys as friends on Facebook, but we want all the feedback we can get.
Also, again, we really do want to make this, guys, just as much our store as it is yours. So if you do have any comments or suggestions or things you want to see here, please write them on the back of your deck list. We will take them seriously. We want to make this, you guys, your home. So
yeah. This is Ellis, by the way. This is my business partner, family friend. Yeah, with that being said, we're gonna start here in 1 second. I will come by and give you guys packs. You guys are competing for a case of Chaos Impact. It's going to be split in top 8 breakdown. We will be cutting after the rounds. I don't know how many rounds we have. So you have 6 rounds. Cut the top 8. The breakdown of the top 8. I believe I have to do the math, but I believe we're going to do 6 boxes the first, 3 boxes the second. That's 9 boxes. 1 box to 3rd and 4th, and then half a box each to 4th through 8th.
So lucky competitors in top 8, you're allowed to split. Don't forget.
Yes, that is.
I didn't travel all this way from Dallas just to split.
And we'll sit here.
We'll plan it out.
Hash it out, guys. We gotta duel it out, right? That's why you guys are here. Duel it out. All right. So.
Tournament is fierce. Hello, what's going on, YouTube? This is your boy Jay Money here, and we got with us Johnny Nagel and
Ellis Ballerina.
Ellis Ballerina. All right, so these two guys are the co-owners of the store, Rocky Mountain Collectibles, And so, I got them in front of the camera for an interview here. Just got a few questions I want to ask them and all that. So why don't you guys go and introduce yourselves real quick before you get started?
I'm Ellis Finalina. I'm from Los Angeles. I went to college out here, CU Boulder. I've been in the Yu-Gi-Oh scene my entire life. I got 7th place at Nationals, and I have a couple YCS tops. We've been collecting pops and cards and working together to create the shop for everyone for about 5 years, and we're really happy to have you guys in here.
Yep, I'm Jonathan Nagel. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh since I was young. I have a couple of Shonen Jump tops, plenty of YCS tops underneath my belt. I've been traveling to different events in the gaming community from Pokemon, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Comic-Cons from San Diego, New York for a very long time, and me and Ellis got together and decided to put this dream together. So,
all right. So with the new game shop, with the new dream, will come some questions from some, some people that do want to kind of check out the area. So anybody in Colorado in general, I highly recommend you guys at least come and visit this store and see what these guys got to offer, because I got quite a few clips of this place, and it's a pretty sick joint. So you guys don't want to miss it. So let's start off with the first question, and that is, what inspired you guys to open up a game shop in the first place? What inspired that?
I would say just that feeling of being a player first, playing the games and just the community. Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, Pokemon, the gaming community as a whole was always a second home for me. It kept me out of trouble. I met some of my realest, longest friends through the game and the community. I started traveling and seeing the world and really expanded my mindset. And then on top of that, just the business aspect of it kind of set in, and the secondhand market, and just it taught me so much different aspects of life. It really did just show a bigger picture of things. So.
And adding on to that a little bit, it's in California, being from Los Angeles, we have all these amazing card shops. We have Core TCG, we have Card Rush, we have Frankenstein's, we have all these amazing places. And when I came here in college, and I came and saw some of the tournaments and some of the shops out here, it was really just kind of disappointing. It felt like people weren't happy, they didn't have a safe place to go and play, it didn't have a home. And part of it was we wanted to give that back to the Colorado community and give all these players and nerds just like me a home to belong in.
Yeah.
Worse with that. So now that you guys did establish your first game shop, this is a grand opening here, first weekend and all that stuff. What is Rocky Mountain Collectibles? When somebody sees this name, what are they going to expect?
Well, I would say, just to add on to what Ellis said, a home. I hope it becomes a gaming shop in every aspect that I've ever felt a good feeling from, was building a home, a community, a strong community. It's not just about the store or profit, it's about building a community within each other. And as the community thrives, so does the store. And it's just about a little give and take with both of that. So I would say, when you think of Rocky Mountain Collectibles, I would hope the word home.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah, I'd say pretty much that. And I would also say that we should be your go-to shop if you're in Colorado for all your collectible needs. If we don't have it, we'll find it, we'll track it down for you. You need to get rid of it, we'll buy it from you, we'll take care of you. Whatever it is, we're here to try to make your dreams come true.
All right, so, rolling off of that, you said you did want to build a community and all that good stuff, a home and all that good stuff. So, in that community, what will be the main focus of Rocky Mountain Collectibles as a community? What will be the main focus? Yeah.
Well, I would say it definitely is, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, The Gathering, and Pokemon are three of the biggest and largest card games that we target. We would like to branch out to, Dragon Ball Super, Smash Bros, a lot of different things. Me and Ellis have worked San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, Seattle Comic-Con, from different collectible aspects of the toys and natures of that. But basically, just building a competitive scene and also, a casual scene for all the games.
And we're also hoping that, later down the road, we can also hold some local nights, maybe do a Dungeons and Dragons night once a week for some of the local players, and do some board game nights for people. We just want to bring it all in for everyone.
Yeah, Ellis got me into Dungeons and Dragons, and I gotta say, it's pretty fun.
Sweet. So that next question I was going to ask about what tourneys will you guys feature, I guess that already kind of got answered for me a little bit.
Well,
so in terms of
players to play them.
So we all know about Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering. We all know those tournaments will likely be hosted, but in terms of other tournaments, like let's say like you said, Dragon Ball Super, Street Fighter, Dragon Ball Fighters, Smash Bros. how soon do you think you'd be able to get those tournaments up and
I would
running?
say probably within the next month or two, we'll be able to get some other tournaments going. We've also built, Johnny's built decks for Teledad format, Returnadad format, Gladiator Beast. He's built 8 copies of common of each of these decks, so people can come up, give us their ID, or we can even host our own in-tournament stores for these older formats of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, where you don't necessarily need to actually own the cards. You can kind of just rent them and enjoy tournaments. So if you come in some days and you don't want to play as a competitive scene or into the meta and you want to try and maybe teach some newer players or play those older formats, I always thought that GOAT was a good way to introduce people to the game. Then you have like Teledad format with synchroing for Yu-Gi-Oh! And then you have like Zodiac format that focus on XYZs and
Or Dragon format, one of those.
Yeah, or Dragon format, yes. And so there's an idea that came to my mind where how can we help the players here in Colorado and learn the game through the stages as it developed, rather than just jumping into league format and such of that nature. So,
I've never actually really thought about that. That's actually a pretty smart idea. I'm not even going to lie there.
thank you.
That kind of somewhat touches on one of the other questions I had going. So let's continue. Of course I'm promoting you guys' store. So where can people buy from you? Any online platforms of any kind?
Well, right now we're getting up on TCG Player and stuff like that. But if you do want something from us, the best way to reach out is just contact one of us directly. We're not some big crazy company. You could hit us up on Facebook, you can text us, and we'll respond and get you what you guys need. We're here, we're your local friendly game shop owners, and we're accessible to you.
Yeah, and to add on to that, we'll always have our doors open, our ears ready to hear what the players are asking or what our friends are looking for. But on top of that, in time, definitely we're going to be looking at making our own platform, online platform, and reaching out to those other eBay and TCG players. Definitely.
Sweet. Good to hear that. It's nice to be able to just market yourself in multiple different platforms and all that good stuff. So, I think you kind of touched on this next question, but what will separate you from other LGS stores? Local game stores. What do you believe can separate you guys as local game stores from all the other ones around the area?
It's just basically the community. We really, really are putting a huge effort into making everyone feel at home and make sure everyone feels like they're in a safe space and make sure that they are happy and have everything they need here. And we just want to keep building that positive environment so that people just keep coming in and keep reciprocating that. And I feel like that's the biggest one, is that we want to make ourselves feel like home. And
I would say defining the difference. It's just about good business practice, and also looking out for the community, like Ella said. It's all about that. And most stores, local stores, the goal is to work together, not separated. I feel like that's one of the things here in the Midwest that kind of was different from those other bigger states, from all the gaming. Things were very defined, and rather than separating, we would like to bring the community together. From all the games, from Magic the Gathering to Yu-Gi-Oh to the pop collectors. It's about working together and that good feeling of good nature.
So do you think your sense of community could potentially branch out to other game stores as well?
Oh, definitely. That's what it's about.
We're hoping some of the stores out here, take suit and follow our example.
Yeah, I come from a very unique, different variety of background. But Yu-Gi-Oh! And the gaming community was always the one that I felt that with open arms, and that's what I just want to give back. Is that feeling of being a young kid, having that second home, having somewhere to go, meeting some of my lifelong good friends that are doing very well for themselves, and that's what I want to give, is what I've received, and so that's honestly the feeling I think we're trying to promote.
All right, sweet. That's actually that's a good response. Shoot. So, this is a little bit more of a difficult question, but you guys have probably thought about this well before you even got to this point. So as we know, about 70% of local game stores that start up will end up failing within the first 3 years. Do you guys know some of, what those reasons could potentially be? And then, what kind of plans do you guys have to ensure your success, to make sure that you don't, let's say, fall into that
I think we're dealing
that
with
statistic?
collectibles. There's a lot of people who go into it thinking that it's going to be very easy and thinking that it's going to be lots of money and very quick. Because when you see, sometimes you get to buy something in pretty low and you get to sell it, and you do make a good amount of money in that one transaction. But those transactions aren't the norm. And if you go into this expecting that it's just going to be easy and sunshine and roses, then you're probably going to fail. we've been doing this online. We've been supporting ourselves online and through eBay and Amazon for about 4.5 years. So we know what it takes to actually be able to afford this. We've run the numbers and to be able to give back. And I feel like the biggest difference between us is just the experience we've had. Johnny, he's been doing this since he was 18 years old, and I've been doing pops and stuff for about 6 years now. So we've been working really hard to get this going, and we've taken our time and made sure it was right.
Yeah, to add on to that, like just like a mechanic, like on a car, like he knows, the parts and things of that nature because he's putting the time and the effort. Ellis have been in this community and been a part of this since we were young. Ellis would tell me stories of how his father and him would go around in San Diego Comic-Con and he'd run away and his dad would have to chase him down. And so these are the communities and these are the things that we have. That it's a piece of us. It is literally who we are, and just like any good business practice, like when you care about something, it doesn't become work anymore. It just becomes a drug of some nature. Like you fall in love with it, and so this is something that we both love and we are very passionate about, and we both understand and know. And being on both sides of that, from a player first, and then becoming an owner, and the money behind it and things of that nature as a business. And just like any business, good business practice. There has to be good business practice. Your blood, sweat, and tears have to go into anything to survive. So going back to your question, 70% of businesses fail. I mean, I don't know exactly the number, but a lot of opening businesses fail in the first 3 years. So it's not just the collectible scene, but it does come down to your work ethic, the knowledgeability of what you do, and the effort you put in. And I think that our team of me and him, we got this down pretty well. So.
And adding on to what you were saying about the mechanic, the whole mechanic analogy, I feel like a lot of it also goes into just bad customer experience within those said first 3 years because, people do realize it's not as easy as it looks and people want to try and make their margins and all that good stuff. People will do all kinds of things, take shortcuts. People will do things to try and make that quick buck, and that makes for a negative customer experience, and then that makes them not, want to come back. I feel like, me personally, I know little to nothing about, how to keep people, keep stores up economically, but for me as a consumer, I would say the first step would just be customer satisfaction and sense of community, just all in the whole. If you have a strong front to be able to just keep players and keep people coming and keep them coming in and all that, I feel like your job is much easier.
Yeah. And I would say that we've done deals before in the past, Jamil, and I've kind of, we've traded and worked out things. And from just your experience here in these last 48 hours of being here, what would you just comment on, like, your experience as a whole and maybe our experience as a friendship and also, like, what we've done in the past?
Yeah, how do the players like the store?
Yeah, what would you say? What would you comment on?
Well, I mean, just walking in the store, it's a very, very open, very friendly environment, as it should be and all the good stuff. And I know you personally, you are... you're definitely a man of integrity and all that good stuff, which is why I'm here and trying to promote your store because I do want to. I do want to see you succeed and all that good stuff. So because I know you are a person of integrity.
That's a prime example of what I'm touching base on is that you came from Texas to support it. It's just a prime example of that community and what you give, what you get, and
just establishing that good relationship with people and all that good stuff. You support them, you look out for them, they look out for you. That's just how it works. And all that good stuff. So, aside from that, so now you get, we got all the background and, we got all the current stuff going on. But are there any, actually, before that question, this question came to me from a newer player in the game. So, is there any kind of plans for creating a competitive scene and environment? And how do you plan to introduce new players into the game? Again, you kind of touched on that earlier with the different decks for different formats. But how do you go about introducing new players and, just overall bringing a competitive scene to the game? Because you guys did just start up, and I know you do want to become an OTS store. And, hopefully I'm assuming you want to get regionals and stuff going as well and all that stuff. So how do you plan on going about that? And this doesn't just apply to Yu-Gi-Oh! In terms of bringing in new players, but, things like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering as well.
So, I mean, like... I always preach to parents whenever I come in contact with them throughout the years, whatever, and kind of that little piece of me, of what these games, this community has done for me, and how, some parents may feel a type of way about gaming communities and stuff from online gaming, but from the competitive scene of card playing, trading card games, TCGs, it builds really good character from any age group. from a child, you actually have to read the cards. You have to interact with somebody. You have to do a lot of critical thinking, which uses your brain. On top of that, you have to do a lot of socializing and communication between, like, interaction between a different age group. You know, you could be sitting down from an older person or a kid your age. And on top of that, you have to do math. In all the games, you have to do a lot of math. You know, you can sit down with a pen and pencil. You can sit down with a calculator. But these are all, like, you know, good traits of, like, you know, to help use your brain. And I always preach to parents about that. And so to touch base on what you're saying, though, with those ideas and those deck buildings and things like that, I'm always up for, like, you know, if I'm not busy with something, like I love to sit down and help people understand all the games and just learn, because, like I said, to give them that piece of what I got from the game, you know, takes just some time that maybe you can put somebody onto something that can make a huge difference in their life long term, that, you know what I mean? And so, and definitely, like you said, from the OTS, we are going to follow all rules, and all from Wizards of the Coast to Konami to Nintendo. We are going to follow all rules to become an OTS official tournament store with all three of those. And we are going to build a competitive scene. We already have a competitive scene. We also have a casual scene. We also have, you know, a nature. We want the doors to be open to everybody and for them to feel that way. And that's why we're going to offer multiple ways with those older formats or things of that nature. You know, I really like speed dueling with Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, I really think it's a great idea. I think that, like, you know, on certain nights we can host a normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament, and then an hour later host a speed duel tournament. So if you don't get off in time or you're running a little late, you can have a speed duel deck and come on in and sit down and still get out with everybody else and still come in and do some trades, hang out with everybody. And so I really like the speed duel format, and I think it's a really cool thing that Konami introduced.
I agree. Anything you'd like to add?
Just that we're going to be doing, like, other events besides card games that is probably going to draw in some other people. Like I mentioned, how we want to do Dungeons and Dragons once a month, Catan night, board game nights. I think that when these people come in and they start hanging out and having fun, and they see other people playing other games also having fun, they're just going to be naturally interested and want to join in and become part of it. Yep. So we're just hoping it all grows naturally.
Sweet, man. So now going back to the question I was going to ask. So, you know, we got the background and we got, you know, the stuff in the present, but, you know, any future plans, future visions you guys have in mind for the store?
To take over the world. You know, definitely, like, you know, constant growing, like, more and more, the past couple of years putting this dream together with Ellis, and today, like, with the grand opening this weekend, and finally taking in a little breath of, like, you know, we're doing it, it's happening. You know, the future is constant. It's a never-ending, like, you know, tomorrow, and so huge plans for the future. I want to keep expanding. I would love to have multiple stores one day, you know, or whatever. But, like, I really do.
Maybe franchise one day.
That would be nice to be able to open up a store in Dallas.
Yeah, why not? You know, why not? It's just like I said, like the future is definitely something to look forward to, and making plans, making small goals become larger goals, and accomplishing the small goals first, so that the large goals seem less big. So, you know, that's how I got here, and that's what I'm going to continue.
Hey, baby steps. So. That's always a good step to take. Anything you want to add?
No, that's pretty much it. And just never stop growing and doing our best. Yep. And we hope you guys love it.
All right, so last question we have going on here. You know, a lot of us that are probably watching this right now, they play all kinds of games and all that good stuff. So, and I'm sure a good number of them want to open up a local store of their own sometime in the future. So, any advice that you could potentially give to someone wanting to open up an LGS or a local game store of their own?
More so advice to collectors. It's just like, if your dream really is to open up a local game shop or a hobby store, start early and start young, and, like, build your collection, like, build your inventory, build your product. So, because, like, the only reason me and Johnny were able to open this store is because we've literally put everything we've worked into, Johnny for his whole life, and me and him for everything we've done at the cons for the past 6 years. Without that foundation, without that work we put in early to, you know, give us a little bit of a ledge now and breathing room now, it would never be possible. So,
yeah, definitely.
Just start early, start young, and if yours really is your dream, you gotta go for it.
Yeah. To touch on to that, like what you said, like for people that are interested or thinking about or would like to, maybe for a gaming store, you know, I think it just touches base of any dream or any, you know, ideology or goal that you do have. You know, you gotta put everything into it. It sounds very cliche, but honestly, like, what you get is what you give, and, like, what you give is what you get. You know, it's a funny thing, but, like, I've slept on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. My box spring for my queen mattress broke, and, like, I've slept on 5 rows on top of my bed. So, like, You know, I've you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! I've slept on Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. You know, I've had Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards in the trunk of my car. I've had Magic cards in my bathroom. Like, there's not a piece of this community or thing that has always been around me. And so, just like in life and anything you do, you put everything into it. You know, you're gonna get something back. And so, that's basically the touch point. Not just as a, you know, if someone wanted to open up a card shop or a collectible toy store, but in the sense of just anything you do, you have to believe it and go out in full force.
And you have to love it.
Yeah.
Like, you'll never succeed if you don't love it.
And you want to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it,
And I love your first answer that start early.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people believe that, hey, maybe I'll just get started right now and just wing it and hope for the best. But, you know, honestly, just starting early and just having the know-how from the get-go, you know, having the years of experience really does go a long way. You know what they say, if those who plan to fail to plan to fail.
there you go. Exactly. Well said. Well, thank you for coming out, Joe. We really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Oh, you're good to go. And
Hope you guys come check us out.
I hope you get some cool shots of the whole store. The windows outside look beautiful. I hope you get some cool stuff of the obelisk in the background and everything. So,
hey, I've already recorded a few spots of this area a few times, so I'll do some more recordings
Cool,
later.
guys.
But
Thank you.
yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. Come on by.
Yep.
signing out.